Hey y'all. Okay, so last week we worked on painting this whole entire room and it turned out really good. So this week we're going to be furnishing his room. Let me show you what we're going to do. So last week we tore out his closet. We do have indentions in the carpet, which is totally fine. This is body wash that leaked out onto his carpet. It's perfectly okay. I'm not worried about it because eventually we're going to pull up this carpet and we're going to lay down hardwood flooring. So all this stuff, I'm not really worried about it. So today we are going to put up his loft bed over here against this wall. And then these two walls right here, we're going to put a pegboard system up for his Nerf guns. And then this shelf right here, we're going to take off or take apart. And we're going to use the shelves off of that. We're going to put them up under here. That shelf right there, we're going to clean it off, turn it on its side, and place it right here. And then we're going to have his dresser. On top of the dresser, we're going to have a bookshelf. And then we're going to have his clothes right here. So, that's the plan. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. So like I said, last week we painted the room and everything, and this week we're going to furnish the room. And if you haven't seen that first part, no worry, I will put the link down in the description. All you have to do is just click the link and it'll take you to the first video. Putting up this loft bed wasn't that hard. The only problem that we had was the ladder was on the wrong side of the bed, so we had to take it all apart and flip the sides. So that was the only problem that we had with this loft bed. But we did get this loft bed off of Facebook Marketplace, and when I originally found this bed, it was $80, I think it was, and then a couple of days later I went back and found it again, and it was marked down to $65. So I was like, it's mine. We're getting it. It's ours.
Is she human? She just one of a kind, out of her mind. Yeah. One too many times I wake up bruised. Oh, how she wears me down. She with everyone, no matter what I try to lose. Not shy to take a risk, but I love that. She's a part of me. I don't want to let go. She's a part of me. I don't want to let go. No, she's a part of me. I don't want to let go. She's a part of me. I don't want to let go. When I wake up in a funky mood, first instinct is to bench drink till I can't.
So this is where we realized we're going to have to take the bed apart and switch the ladder. For some reason, my husband thought I was putting the ladder up against the wall where his closet was, but I told him no, that I'm not putting it up against that wall, that it was going up against the wall with his window. So we took everything apart and switched the ends of the bed. That way his ladder was on the left side of the bed, so he would be able to climb up.
Life is pretty when you're out of your mind and f***ed up inside. Oh, one too many times I wake up bruised. Not shy to take a risk, but I love that. She's a part of me. I don't wanna let go. She's a part of me. I don't wanna let go. No, she's a part of me. I don't wanna let go. She's a part of me. I don't wanna let go. No, she's a part of me. I don't wanna let
since we have this bed put up now and my son has been sleeping in it and everything, the only problem that we have found is it is wobbly. The bed is wobbly. But I think that can be fixed with some braces or some brackets to attach it to the wall, and I think that would solve the problem. Now that we got the bed frame put together and the ladder is on the right side of the bed, my son and I are going in and putting in the braces for the bed, the mattress. I know I had said something about buying a piece of plywood to put on top of these bars, because we wasn't going to be able to use his box springs. But once we put the mattress up there, my son got up there and he kind of moved around and laid still, and he said that he couldn't really feel those bars. So we were like, okay. So we ended up not buying a piece of plywood to put up under there. And so far, he hasn't complained about the bars hurting him. So I don't know. In due time, we'll see if he does start complaining about the bars. Then we'll try to come up with a solution to the problem. But for now, it seems to be doing just fine.
I am strong, I am finally where I belong. On my own, I have made it a long way from home. On my own, I can do anything.
We did put the box springs and mattress up there just to see what it would look like and see if we could use the box springs. But there was absolutely no way my son would have been able to sleep up there. I mean, there was a small gap between the mattress and the ceiling. So we eventually took, or not eventually, we did take the box springs back off and just put his mattress up there. And then that's when my son got up there and tested it out. And we just left it at that.
I'm getting chills when they tell me you're not yourself. Trying to move, but it's hard, I'm out of breath. Oh.
Our original plan for hanging these brackets up was to put 3 of them along this wall, but after going in there and finding the studs, there were 3 studs to drill into, but again, one of those studs was up against the wall up to the right, and there would have been no way that the clothes hanger rod would have been functional. So we just found the 2 middle studs and just drilled in 2 of those brackets and hung his clothes on 2 of those. So with us having to change that meant we had to change the placement of the dresser and the shelving that was going to go on top of the dresser, and also the shelf that was going up underneath his clothes to put his shoes, which is totally fine because sometimes that's how life is and you just gonna have to roll with the punches. Sometimes one thing doesn't work out because it's supposed to work out for something better. So I didn't sweat it, I just went with it. After getting all of his clothes hung up there, I had went through all of his clothes and turned them around the unquote unquote right way. I like to hang their clothes up to, like, if you were looking through it, you could see the front of the shirt, if that makes any sense. In my head, it makes sense. But I'm also switching out clothes hangers. His clothes hangers are black, and he had different color clothes hangers, which I know really doesn't matter, but to me it does. So I went in, he had extra black hangers because when we cleaned out his closet, he went through his hang up clothes and got rid of a bunch, which opened up some extra hangers, so I was able to switch out the different colored ones for the black ones. And it looks so much better.
Nothing belongs to you in life. Oh, the picture of you.
So we got this dresser from a friend of ours, and they had kept this dresser in storage. So it was already painted this color, and it matched perfectly in the room, so I didn't have to do anything. Although there are some dings inside or on the dresser that I would have to repaint, which I'm really not worried about that right now. I can do that later. That can be a later project. But since it was in storage, I'm just going to give it a good vacuum and a good wipe down. And then I'm going to organize his clothes.
Like a knife. Whatever they call us, whatever they'll do, they're running in circles, circle of fools. Whatever we will miss, got nothing to prove. But in the dark, I'm starting to. Whatever they call us, whatever they'll do, we're running together. I'll be here for you. Whatever we will miss, we find something new. But in the dark, I'm starting to. I'm missing what's you. I see your face, your mouth looks like mine. Pretend to dream, surrounded by ghosts in white. And nothing belongs to you in life. Oh, the picture of you cuts like a knife. Whatever they call us, whatever they'll do, they're running in circles, circle of fools. Whatever we will miss, got nothing to prove. But in the dark, I'm starting to. Whatever they call us, whatever they'll do, we're running together. I'll be here for you. Whatever we will miss, we find something new. But in the dark, I'm starting to. I'm missing what's you. I'm missing what's you. Yeah. Voices in my head are killing me. Oh, they're killing my heart. I'm so open wide, but hard to reach. Oh, you look like a dream to me. Don't let I've never been so loud before. Just trying to make you understand my eyes and hands. But you don't even hear my call. And you make me wonder who I am. Do you know what I see? I see myself cry and say you won't be mad. Do you know what I feel? I'm sick of all your.
I actually like his dresser being up against that wall better than I liked it up against or up under his clothes that are hanging up. So I asked him how he wanted his drawers, and so he wanted his pants, his blue jeans, and his lounge pants in the top drawer. And then the next drawer, he wanted his shorts and his swimming trunks. And then the third drawer, he wanted his pajamas and his tank tops. Wife beaters is what we call them. And then the bottom drawer, he wanted his underwear and his socks. So that's how I organized it.
Just say you want me. Say you want me. Say you want me bad. Say you want me bad.
So this is the next day, and our goal for that day was to take this shelf apart, repaint it, and get it ready to get the shelves hung up underneath his TV. So I don't know how many are out there that are overthinkers, but I am most definitely one of those people because I overthunk taking this shelf apart. Overthunk it, okay? Way overthunk it. And I thought it was going to be extremely hard and extremely difficult. And it was the easiest thing that I have ever done in my life. And I don't know. I don't know why I do that to myself. Sometimes I make things harder on myself than it should be. Who else is like this? It's okay. It's okay to admit it.
Just say you want me. Say you want me back. Do you know what I see? I see myself across. Do you know what I feel? I'm sick of all your lies. We can't compete with speed of sound. 'Cause heart is still hard to predict. You should admit. Slowly things will come around. I'm still waiting for you to say it, say it. Do you know what I see? I see myself cry and say you won't be. Say you won't be mad. Say you know what I feel. I'm sick of all your lies. Just say you want me. Oh, say you want me back. Oh, say you want me back. Just say you want me. Say you want me back. You know what I see? I see myself across. Do you know what I feel? Do you know what I feel? I'm sick of all your
So we're using this shelf for two different things. And here we are trying to get my son fitted for a desk for his steering wheel and his gas pedal system. My idea is to take two of those shelves off of there and put it up under the TV. And then the rest of it we can use to build that movable shelf that I was talking about. That way we can use this whole entire shelf and I wouldn't have to waste anything. We have yet to build that because I really have to look at it and kind of brainstorm on how I'm really going to do this because we're going to have to cut some pieces. Like those two long boards that are on the side, I'm going to have to cut those in half because it's not this desk shelf thingy that we're going to make is not going to be that tall.
The talking, the rumors didn't mean anything because you swore you had me, I had you, like a stream in the spring, we were brand new. I put myself up there to trust you, despite all of the things I've been through. I see now the sweet taste
I had already painted this shelf one time black. I actually spray painted it, which is what I'm doing here. But I wanted to go back over it and kind of smooth it out a little bit. And I also wanted to paint the other side that was not painted because it was going to be seen in his room once we hung up the shelves.
You break into my own mind. What was mine? Now I'm stopping you. I put myself up there to trust you, despite all of the things I've been through. I see now the sweet taste. Suddenly in exchange for a clean slate. You really got me stuck. Then you walked away. While I was in the shock, you would drift astray. For all the things you told me that weren't true. I've got one or two things to tell you. You never had your mind in the place I was. You never stood behind when I fell because you let me be the one, then you leave me blue. I've got one or two things to tell you. I had no doubt. I see it now. I am better off. Got one or two things to tell you. You really got me stuck. Then you walked away. While I was in the shock, you would drift astray. For all the things you told me that weren't true. I've got one or two things to tell you. You never had your mind in the place I was. You never stood behind when I fell because you let me be the one, then you leave me blue. I've got one or two things to tell you.
After the shelves dried for a little bit, it was time to spray paint the pegboards. So we had originally bought one paneling from Lowe's that was about $25, I think it was. And then my husband called me one day. He was at work and he was like, "Hey, I've got two pegboards that are 4 feet by 2 feet. Will that work?" So I went in his room and I measured the walls that we were going to hang this pegboard on. And I was like, "Dude, that is perfect." So he brought these two pegboards home and he was like, "Well, the only thing wrong with them is they got wet." So they had a little bit of water damage, but not enough to do anything to the boards. I mean, you could see where it was wet, but it wasn't warped or anything. So I was like, that doesn't even matter because the back of it's going to be up against the wall. You're not going to be able to see the back. I said, and then I'm going to spray paint the white side. He was like, "Oh, okay. Well then, heck, we'll use these." So we used these and we took the long board that we had bought, we took it back and we bought the pegboard hooks that go into the pegboard. Next, I spray painted these 1x3s. We bought two of these. We cut them in half to make four of them so we could drill them into the wall and then drill the paneling onto these boards because you don't want the pegboard paneling straight up against the wall because then you're not going to be able to put your pegboard hooks into them.
Taking off in 5, taking pictures of the streets here to keep them in mind. Getting ready now. There's a reason why we got to believe in this town. Dodging every flying bullet. They are filling up the air. Couldn't catch us there now, could you?
If you buy these 1x3s, you're going to have to be extremely careful with drilling into them because maybe my husband was putting too much power behind it, but when he would drill into it, the wood would split a little bit, so he had to be extremely careful.
Dodging every flying bullet. We were bad to all of you. If you only really knew. A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do, and
I have had this vision in my head for a very, very long time. I knew exactly what I wanted to do when he started receiving Nerf guns as gifts and stuff. And to finally see it in real life makes me so happy.
Sisters tied. There is no way you can beat 'em. My partners in crime, dodging every flying bullet. They are filling up the air. Couldn't catch us there now, could you? Dodging every flying bullet. Can't prepare yourself for us. There is nothing to discuss. A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do in the fuss. Yeah, it's all about us. Don't you see, baby? A girl's gotta take a flight every once in a while. Leave no girl behind. See my girls and I. A girl's gotta do what a girl's.
My daughter was looking for the drill for her dad, and she didn't know I was recording, but her face says it all when she finally figures out that I was recording. But we did find the drill, and he is now hanging up the shelves that are going to go up under his TV.
Gotta do what a girl's. A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do in the fuss. Yeah, it's all about us. Girls gotta do what a girl's gotta do in the fuss. Yeah, it's all about us. Don't you see, baby?
We were laughing at ourselves because he had put one L bracket with the long side down and then the other L bracket with the short side down. So he had to take off the left L bracket and switch it so it would be even.
Gotta take a flight every once in a while. Leave no girl behind. See my girls and I. A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do what a girl's. A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do in the fuss. Yeah, it's all about us. See my girls and I. You and I till the end. Don't need to pretend again and again.
Before he secured the shelves to the L brackets, I went in and hooked up his PS4 so we could drape the wires down back behind the shelves, and we knew exactly how far they needed to be out from the wall so the wires could hang down comfortably and not be squished.
We'll stick together. Everything is alright with you by my side. We won't say goodbye. We'll stick together. I can pick you up when you're heading down. When it all just sucks, I'll be your Charlie Brown. You can make me laugh when I wanna.
I'm on here to do a little update. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm struggling, mentally struggling. The mess is starting to get to me, but besides that, we got great progress. Let me show you what we got done. All right, it's still a mess. We're still working on things, but this is me standing at his bedroom door. We have his bed up. We've got the walls painted. We got his dresser over there. His clothes hung up there. We got his pegboard system up. We got his shelves up on his wall. It's slowly getting there, slowly. All right, so our original plan was to have that dresser over here and then have a bookshelf up on top of it, but that didn't work out, obviously, because there are 2 studs here that we could drill into. There was a third one over there in the corner, but we couldn't slide the clothes up against the wall because it wouldn't have been functional. The rod, it wouldn't have worked. So anyway, so that's what we did. So what I did was turn his dresser from this wall to that wall, and I measured this shelf because originally we were going to flip it on its side and put it over there up underneath the clothes. Well, obviously it's not going to work. So I measured it, and if we lay it on its side and sit it on top of the dresser, it's going to fit perfectly. And that'll be his shoe cubby. That'll be his shoe storage. At some point, I think, what is today? Today is Tuesday. Tomorrow, we are going to go get a desk, a temporary desk for him. We're going to slide in here so he can set up his gaming PC. And that table right there with his steering wheel, we're going to take all that off of there. We're getting rid of that table. We are going to build a table out of that big black shelf that these shelves come from. We're going to build some kind of table of some sort to hold his steering wheel and gas pedals, something that's movable where he can use it and then put it away so it's not in the walkway. So here's his pegboard system. We've got the pegs to go into it. This is where his Nerf guns are going to go. That will get rid of his toy box. So yeah, it's a mess. It's getting there. It's getting there. I have to keep telling myself it's getting there. This has been a long, tedious process. Oh, we still have to change out his door and paint the other door. But what we've gotten done so far has been awesome. So this is his bedroom. Let's go into my living room and let's look at my living room. So this is the state of my living room. We still have to find a home for all of this stuff. All this stuff come out of his bedroom. While I'm at it, I'm going to show you the hallway that my husband redid. So we had to replace this paneling down here, replace this baseboard right here, this paneling, and this paneling. At some point our roof leaked. You can see it right there. Our roof leaked and it got down into the wall, made the sheetrock brittle, and over time we had a hole from the floor to up here. All of that was gone. So we take out everything and replace everything with brand new stuff. So he did really good. And don't mind the carpet. Eventually this carpet's going. Slowly but surely. Spoiler, I was not able to get rid of his toy box. So he did have a lot of Nerf guns that I was able to hang up on that pegboard, but he also had a lot of other toys that I had no home for. So I did have to keep his toy box, which is okay because it fits nicely up under the pegboard.
In a world gone mad, we're on an all-time high, and it wouldn't be the same without you. We have yet so many stupid things to do. You're the only thing I'm holding on to.
If you have made it this far, and if you would like to and haven't already, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and hit the thumbs up button as well. That helps out my videos. Also, if you would like to, so that way I know you're still with me, drop a purple heart down in the comments. Also, if you share it, you got to share it with your mama and them, okay? Because your mama and them might want to see this, all right?
Anywhere and anything, I'll be there. And until the end.
Okay, it turned out pretty good. The only thing is his clothes are hanging in front of those 2 cubbies and half of this cubby, but I told him that's what would probably happen. And he was like, that's okay, Mom. He was like, I can just move my clothes and get back there. So what he can do now is he can just put stuff back there that he doesn't really get into on a daily basis. So, but this is going to be shoe storage. And then also he can set some things up here as well. So, and that also helps hide these wires. So, yay! I'm so excited. It didn't come out like I initially envisioned, but sometimes that's the way things work and you just have to take your time. So, anywho, I'm thankful for that. All right, it turned out pretty good. He's got his shoes on the bottom, his little cubby inserts there, and then 3 of those plastic bins that I got from the Dollar Tree up there. These are gloves and beanies. These are Matchbox cars. This is art supplies. This is stuff for his PS4. This is fidget toys. And this is his personal stuff. So yeah, I did switch out that bin with that bin because that stuff was in that bin, but we're putting this stuff in containers and hanging it on his pegboard to go with his Nerf guns. And then this one, we're going to put those books in and we're going to set it up there on his shelf. To hang all of his Nerf guns up on this pegboard, we went through his toy box and laid out every single Nerf gun he owned. And then I painstakingly put the Nerf guns on that pegboard. I don't know if any of you like the game Tetris. I know I don't. I have never been good at that game. But hanging those Nerf guns up was exactly like that game, Tetris. And I didn't like it. But in the end, it turned out really good.
I can pick you up when you're heading down. When it all just sucks, I'll be your Charlie Brown. You can make me laugh when I wanna cry. In a world of men, we're on an all-time high. Oh, 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 oh. You and I till the end. Don't need to pretend again and again. We'll stick together. Everything is alright with you by my side. We won't say goodbye. We'll stick together. And it wouldn't be the same without you.
My son over here trying to knock himself out on that shelf. Boys, they're rough all the time.
We did so many stupid things together. You're the only thing I'm holding on to. Anywhere and anything, we'll stick together. Tonight we're running on the right track. I know we never gonna look back. Oh, I just wanna have a good time. Call me whatever, 'cause I'm up for anything like that. Oh no, we don't wanna do slow-mo, so tonight we just let a toll. But I don't mind even though I lose control. Oh, I just wanna have a good time. So call me whenever. 'Cause a night like this, it never gets old. Oh no, we don't wanna do slow-mo. So tonight we just let go. To the beat in the street, every freak out singing like. Singing like. Party like. Freaking out. To the beat, yeah, we freak out singing like. Singing like. Party like. Freaking out. To the beat, yeah, we freak out singing like. So baby, come and take my hand tonight. And know that everything will be alright when we dance and we fall and we don't care at all. Now we just sing the la 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 la. Singing like, party like, freaking out. To the beat, yeah, we freak out.
I got majority of his Nerf guns hung up, and I stepped back and I started looking at it, and I just really didn't like how all the Nerf guns were hanging and how it looked. So I took most of them down and rehung them, and I loved the way they were hanging the second time around.
Coffee cups and cigarettes laying around the room. I don't mind a little mess, just wanna stay with you, and we'll do anything that we want today. Won't be scared of falling down no more. So take me away to some other place. Don't wanna wait. Oh, my Indian summer, take me away. I ain't afraid. Calling your name. Oh, my Indian summer. Oh, my Indian summer. Oh, my Indian summer. We are green under the sun. We do our best to hide. Innocence fading away as we learn the truth, and we'll be anything that we wanna be. Gonna get what's coming anyway. So take me away to some other place. Don't wanna wait. Oh, my Indian summer, take me away. I ain't afraid.
For Easter, my mom made Easter buckets instead of baskets for all of her grandkids. And this little blue bucket is what she used for my son. So instead of throwing it away or getting rid of it, I just reused it to hold all of his Nerf bullets. And it worked out really good. It didn't hold all of them, so I did have to go buy another one. But it held majority of them, and it worked out perfect.
Calling your name. Oh, my Indian summer. Oh, my Indian summer.
Oh my god. Looks good. You still got some left over?
Yeah.
How'd you fit it on?
I wanted to get his reaction. Y'all, I'm telling you, my family thinks I'm crazy, but like my son says, big brains. I got big brains. I did have my son go through his toys in this toy box off camera to get rid of some things that he didn't want. So, what he did want to keep, I'm just putting back in that toy box, and I'm also keeping out some figurines to set up on his shelf. After putting all of his books in this little cubby bin thing, I really didn't like the look. It looks really cluttered on that shelf, but for the time being, it's just going to have to work until I can figure out uh, something else to do with those books, because I honestly don't know what to do with them. So if you have any suggestions, I'm open to hearing them.
We crossed the borderline into our dream. Nothing will ever be as real as this. The flames won't burn our skin. We're thick as thieves, and we know what we do. We live on like an echo. Oh, so take me away to some other place.
We went through everything that was up underneath his bed and organized it and put it in the home that it should be in. And for the desk, for underneath his bed, we just used a fold-up table. It's just temporarily until we can find a really good desk to put under there. And so far, it's worked out perfectly fine. So, yeah, you just have to use what you have in the meantime until you can find what you want.
Oh, my Indian summer, take me away. I ain't afraid, calling your name. Oh, my Indian summer. Oh, my Indian summer, oh, my Indian summer.
Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright.
So here's a before of his bedroom, just to give you a reminder of where we started. It was very small, very crowded, very cluttered, very unorganized, and it just wasn't working. Here is the after. I love his room so much. Yes, there are still things that we need to work on, such as the floor. We still need to switch out his bedroom door and paint it. And we still need to put a desk up underneath his bed. but what we have done with it right now, it has turned out so amazing. I mean, I could not have done this any better. And I am so proud of myself. I am so proud of my husband and my son because we all worked together to make this room what it is now.
Ain't got no money. Ain't got no money. Still I'm singing, oh, I think it looks so good. Don't you think it looks so good? Oh, I think it looks so good. Don't you think it looks so good?
Thank y'all for taking time to watch my videos, and thank you so much for your support. I'll see you next week. Bye.